welcome. How are you guys doing? How are you doing at home? Good. Hey, we have a great show for you guys tonight. Kelly Knauer, writer, editor of Time Books, is here. We also have the music of Fly By Night. They're worthy of it. And we have a great title sponsor, maybe one of the yummest we've ever had, Cone Chips. We made a commercial for them. Check it out. So how's the dating life going?
It's good. It's great.
Yeah?
Awesome. You know, I used to be really awkward at it. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Super weird.
Yeah.
I just go up and stare and then do my thing and freak out. But I came up with the best line.
What's that?
I go, hey, ladies.
Hey, I'll be a girl.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Hey, what's your name?
Cynthia.
Cool, who cares? I invented Cone Chips.
I love you.
I know.
I want you forever.
Oh, stop that. Now you become clingy. Jennifer, you become clingy?
It's Cynthia. Yeah. Usually we hide the fact that this is a prop mic. This time we just wrap the cord around it. Hey, let's just get started. It's time for things that... Wait, where are my things I've noticed cards? There it is! Oh, good, a bird brought them, taped. Sorry, PETA. Things I've noticed.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, these were prop ones. Here are the real ones. You can't trust birds, says my crazy grandma. Okay. I've noticed that my credit card is a chip card, which is awesome because I love an extra 45 seconds of awkward silence with my grocery store clerk. I almost said that right. Okay. I've noticed that I never want to trespass more than when I see a no trespassing sign. But I only see those outside of houses that I would never want to set foot in, so the sign works. I've noticed that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach is the last thing you want to hear from your heart surgeon. All right. I've noticed that I've never tried to dismantle a ticking time bomb, but I get it because I have tried to plug my headphones into my phone before the call goes to voicemail. The two people that got it really got it. I've noticed that when you're the parent of a toddler, binge watching a TV show is defined as being able to watch a full episode without falling asleep. And finally, I've noticed that I keep writing the wrong year on my checks because it's 2016 and I took a time machine back to when people used checks. Things I've noticed.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed.
There's a lot of news out there, but not all of it's necessary. It's now time for the Unnecessary News Network.
Good evening. I'm Sarah Jenkins.
And I'm Jeff Houghton, and you're watching the Unnecessary News. Many started this year out hoping for a big Powerball win, while several weeks ago a Missouri man won $2 million in the lottery, but reportedly waited 2 weeks to tell his wife so he could surprise her on Christmas. Said his wife, "Oh my gosh!" "Why'd you wait?"
An unusually large baby was born in the Ozarks, weighing in at 12 pounds, 8 ounces, and 24 inches long. The healthy baby boy was delivered via C-section And in this case, the C stands for C. There is literally no other way that baby is happening.
Hearts were warmed across the country as a Pennsylvania man took his dying dog on a bucket list adventure, which included over 80 items, including a trip to Niagara Falls, as well as building a snowman. His wife had just one item on her bucket list, a divorce.
A Portland man has resolved to draw a butt every day in 2016 and publish it online. Now, this story was so strange, we couldn't decide on just one punchline, so now get ready for a book joke off.
Drawing a butt every day for a year? That sounds like a crappy hobby.
He can handle the harsh comments, he just turns the other cheek.
I wonder if he's using a number 2 pencil.
I bet a project like this comes around once in a blue moon.
Last year, he tried to draw a face every day, but it damn near wrecked him.
A butt every day? After that much drawing, I'd be pooped. In other news, millions of concerned Facebook users shared this photo, which turned out to be just a dog with ham on his face. Oh, sure, but I put ham on my face, and suddenly I'm the weird lady not welcome back at Golden Corral. That is not fair. But moving on. The primary season is underway for the presidential election, and here to offer his take is our political expert, Trevor McHayman.
Thanks for having me, Sarah. Let's start with the Democratic nominees. It's pretty much been whittled down to Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, with Bernie Sanders having lots of momentum. Hey, have I told you I do CrossFit?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I do CrossFit. Like 3 days a week, every morning. It's not a big deal, but it's a pretty big deal.
Okay, fine, but what about the presidential election?
Oh, right, sorry. Getting back to it, Hillary Clinton has been in this position before, where she's a bigger name up against another candidate who has a lot of momentum. I did like 800 burpees this morning. And I passed out in the middle, but they told me I just kept it going. So I don't know how many I did. CrossFit.
I'm sorry, I've got to be honest. I feel like you're getting distracted by CrossFit. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sarah. We're good. Okay, over to the Republicans. Ted Cruz and Donald Trump are leading the field, while others are polling enough to still stay in the... Guess what my body fat is? No, wait. Guess what it used to be, and guess what it is now? 2%! Used to be 16%. It's pretty amazing. CrossFit.
Okay, what is it with you CrossFit people? Why do you have to interrupt everything all the time just to tell about the fact that you're in shape? We get it. Congratulations.
If something changes your life that much, you just want to tell people about it. You want to spread the good word.
That sounds more like a religion than an exercise plan.
No, it's way different than religion. It's better. So, think about this, though. If Jesus carries the sins of the world, that dude does a lot of box jumps.
Okay, that's enough. Get out of here. Get out of here.
All right, can I just say one more thing about the presidential race?
Sure.
I do CrossFit.
Trevor McHayman, everybody. He is fired. And in lighter news, Bolivar High School's basketball coach has become famous for wearing brightly colored pants to games. His blue pants even have their own Twitter account with over 300 followers. Now, if my high school basketball coach had a Twitter for his pants, it would just say, "Help, I'm way too short."
A Missouri boy was out hunting when he managed to kill 2 deer with just 1 shot from his gun. Said the second deer, "What the f-"
And finally tonight, Instagram husband became a sensation this December, with Adweek calling it the year's most out-of-nowhere viral hit. Proving you really can make something great no matter where you are, even in the middle of nowhere.
All right, we'll be right back with Kelly Knauer.
That comedy bit brought to you by Oz Air. Guest booking provided by Big Salad.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. I just realized I have a big stain on my jeans. Because unlike The Tonight Show, I don't wear these just for the show. I wear these every day, and I have no idea what it is. All right, we have a great guest tonight. We also have a great guest sponsor, Boop, bop. MissouriTrafficTickets.com. If you get a ticket, just click it. I've used them upwards of maybe 4 or 5 times. All right, our guest tonight is the editor/writer for Time Books. Pretty cool. Give it up for Mr. Kelly Knauer. Kelly. All right. Geez, we got all this stuff moved over here for the news. That's just water. We're okay. Water and electricity don't go together, but if there's no electricity, whatever. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for coming out and getting the crowd fired up.
You're very welcome. This is my second time on the show.
That's right. You were on the pre-televised version.
I know it, and you should have been there, folks. It was unbelievable. They say he's come a long way, but it was really just out in the alley behind the Galois. Yeah. There were 2 guys with flashlights. Jeff was up against a brick wall, which you're good at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the stage was a pallet that he liberated from Dylan's grocery store. Michelle was luring homeless people from the square with cigarettes, and you know, it was great fun.
You got to start somewhere.
You got to start, and look at you now. Look at you today.
You can weave a good tale. You must be a writer.
Maybe.
So what does it mean to write for Time Books?
Well, it makes me part of the lamestream media, Jeff.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's hard being lame consistently, you know?
Right.
I'd like to break out every now and then and be not lame, maybe, you know, and not shape the agenda for the nation, but somebody's got to do it.
So they tell you what to do, and you say, yes, sir.
Oh, absolutely. There's a code book you get when you go, a liberal line, baby, lamestream all the way.
But you're doing it through maybe history. What are some of the topics you talk about?
You want to hear about my favorite book ever, Jeff?
Yes.
This was so cool. My favorite book ever was a parody of my own other books, and they let me get away with this. It's fantastic. Every April, Time names the 100 most influential people in the country, right?
Yeah.
The Time 100, then they make a big deal about it. And they always name some big superstar so that the superstar has to come to the big dinner and perform, right? So it's always Beyonce or somebody is on the list.
Right.
Well, we picked up that idea and we started doing books, and it was always the 100 this and that. And and they're really fun books. I don't mean to put them down, but I did the 100 most influential photographs ever taken, which it's really cool when you start, picking out the most important photographs in history. Then we did the most influential places, the 100 most influential scientists, and I actually enjoy doing all these. They're great fun to do.
And they say, here's the topic, go research it and write it.
That's right. And the best thing we do is, because it's Time Life, we spend a lot of money on photo rights, and we have beautiful photos in all these books. When I'm talking about editing books, folks, these are more like special issues of Time magazine. with a lot of nice pictures, and I think they're pretty good.
And where do they sell them?
Barnes & Noble, for example.
Yeah.
You know, mainly. Bookstores, independent bookstores.
Yeah.
You know, newsstands, and, you know, in larger cities, newsstands. But anyway, so I got a little tired of doing the 100 this, the 100 that. And I said, why don't you let me do a book on the 100 most influential people who never lived? And it's like, this was my pitch. This is my pitch to the top execs at the time.
Who never
Let
lived.
me do a book on the 100 most influential people who never lived. And nobody got it at first. And then I said, here's a very influential person who never lived. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah.
Prince Hamlet.
Yeah.
Don Quixote.
Yeah.
And so then from there, we had so much fun. And we did all the great fictional, Sherlock Holmes, all the great fictional characters. And then we realized, wow, this is really fun. We can do kind of weird characters like Big Brother from 1984. He never lived, but he's certainly influential, right?
Right.
Then we started thinking about, influence. And we did the Marlboro Man. We did, absolutely one of the most influential person. And we did Betty Crocker.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had so much fun doing this book, and I had chapters on this and that, and I did a chapter on couples, right? Because you want to get some romance in there, couples. And our lead picture was Mr. Spock and Captain Kirk. I mean, right?
Yeah.
One of the all-time great couples. So that was so much fun. And another great couple, Lolita and Humbert Humbert. I mean, now that's having fun, Jeff.
Yeah.
You know? So
you write, but you make it fun.
that is exactly the idea. It really is.
So when you're done with it, when you retire someday, will you relinquish it to someone, or will they just hire someone else?
First of all, I've got to say it's a big operation, and there are other people doing what I do.
I don't believe it.
I do 4 or 5 books a year, usually about 4.
4 or 5 books a year? That's a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, they're used to a weekly schedule, Jeff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, it's deadline time.
What's your favorite fact that you've learned in all the books you've written?
The favorite fact I've learned in all the books oh boy, that's a good question.
That's a good stalling tactic, just repeating what I said. And then I'm helping you stall by
The
saying
most important fact I've learned from doing these books for time is that if you send somebody, even somebody really famous, if you send them an email and at the end of your email address it says kellyknauer@timemagazine.com, it's pretty likely that you'll get a response. It's fascinating to me that if you've got a fancy email address that has some authority to it, and if you're dealing with people, for example, Jeff, in this 100 most influential people who never lived, one of the things we do is...
Did you email Ebenezer Scrooge?
No. Better yet, to do Macbeth, I emailed Patrick Stewart because he's done a fantastic version of Macbeth. And when you send an email to Patrick Stewart, you don't get a reply from Pat, right? But his agent writes you back and says, "Oh, this sounds really interesting. Let me talk to Patrick and see if I can get him to do it." So I have had really good success. Tom Hanks wrote the introduction to one of my books. Jimmy Carter. George H.W. Bush.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really, you can get, if you've got a Time Magazine name behind you, even if you're the most abject, ignorant person on the planet.
Like yourself.
Well, you know, if you insist, Jeff. They'll fall for it, the suckers.
Right.
There's one born every minute, Jeff.
Well, that's the theory behind a lot of like spam and stuff. If it says Time Life Bugs, I'll email you and pretend like I'm with Time Life, and a certain percentage of people will email back.
Yeah. Did you know Jeff is that Nigerian prince you've been hearing so much about? You know, he's the guy who's sending you that stuff.
That's how I got all this nice stuff. Well, speaking of nice stuff, we have to sell some commercials.
Okay.
So there he is, Kelly Knauer. We'll be back with Fly By Night.
Guest travel and accommodations provided by Hotel Vandervoort. Musical guests brought to you by Bryan Properties.
Hey, welcome back. Let's get to it. Our musical guest tonight is a band called Fly By Night. Go to it.
I'm all alone. Well, it's not that I don't love you, you know I always will. It's a long, hard road I'm climbing to make it up that hill. I'm all alone, just wanting a little peace of mind. I'm all alone, just wondering where you are tonight. When I close my eyes, I seem to realize that you're only dream that I left behind. Play one. I've talked to many different people on what love's all about. When you meet that special someone, it's like magic, you'll find out. Well, I thought I really found love, but I've been wrong before. Please don't say I did wrong by walking out that door. I'm all alone, just wanting a little peace of mind. I'm all alone, just wondering where you are tonight. When I close my eyes, I seem to realize that you're only a dream that I left behind. I'm all alone, just wanting a little peace of mind. I'm all alone, just wondering where you are tonight. When I close my eyes, I seem to realize that you're only a dream that I left behind. That you're only a dream that I left behind.
Good job. Hey, that's our show tonight. Just so you know, 10% of our box office proceeds goes to a great organization called Lost and Found. We will see you guys next week.